Today's Reddit story comes from the subreddit Am I the A-hole? And I want to know if you think the OP is the a-hole in this situation. Let's get into it. It's titled, Am I the a-hole for not giving my late brother's wife access to money meant for my nephew during an emergency? My brother James was married to Elle for 10 years. They had one living child in that time, my nephew Caden, who's 16. Elle had 5 miscarriages as well, and that's something I mentioned because it will come up later. Caden was only 5 when James died. Before he died, James was awarded money for a lapse in medical care, which cost him his life ultimately. James wanted the largest part to go to Caden, and when he was sorting his estate and final wishes, he asked if I would become the caretaker of the money. He had it in a bank account, but wanted to be 100% satisfied it would go to Caden alone. He said it wasn't about Elle or how much he trusted her, but she would remarry and he had no way of knowing if the man who came into their lives could be trusted. And since he wouldn't get to see Caden grow up, he wanted to secure some stability for Caden's future. I agree, and when he died, he left me in charge of the bank account with the money. It wasn't put into a trust or anything like that, but only I have access to it. Elle was understanding of everything at the time and we remained on good terms for a couple of years, but then things soured a little. It was unrelated to the money, but she had started dating someone, and when I met him, I felt something was off about him. She saw it as me not wanting her to move on, but then they broke up, and I was right. However, the damage to the relationship was done. We were civil for Caden's sake after that. Elle did remarry a few years ago. Her husband has children of his own, and this is where the point of the post comes in. One of Elle's stepchildren was involved in a near-fatal accident in December while with her maternal grandparents. Elle and her husband were trying to get to her because she was out of the country. And Elle contacted me to say she needed some of Caden's money so they can go there. She told me she wasn't sure how much in total she'll need by the time everything was sorted, but she knew there would be enough to cover everything and still leave Caden with money. I told her the money was for Caden and Caden alone, and I wasn't going to give her any of it. That I was sorry for what they were going through, but the money needed to come from somewhere else. I spoke to Caden the same day, and he asked me not to give any of the money up if asked again. He said he knew his mom was going to keep asking if they didn't get money from anywhere else. I promised Caden I'll keep the money safe. I was asked again a number of times. Eventually, the money did come from somewhere else, but Elle and her husband end up taking on debt because her stepdaughter's accident. Because of her stepdaughter's accident, and Elle is angry that I was sitting on a large sum of money for Caden and wouldn't let her use any of it for a real emergency. She said it was the wrong decision and was totally callous. Am I the a-hole? Well, you know what, OP, you did the right thing. Because your brother James had said that he wanted you to do it because James' final wish was to make sure that the money goes to Caden, the nephew, alone. And you've kept up that promise. It was wrong of Elle to get mad at you for saying that it was a wrong move to not give money to her. First of all, I feel bad for Elle. Yes, your Elle's situation with the stepdaughter, no, it's a tragedy. It's sad, and I'm sorry that she had to go through it. But that does not give you the right to dip or even ask for money from your biological son's account to pay for it. Again, the money you already knew was for just Caden alone, for his needs, not for your stepdaughter's need. And OP, you are absolutely not the a-hole in this situation. You've kept up your end of the bargain, which is keeping the money safe. Even Caden had told you not to give it to Don't give any money to his mom if asked again. So not only are you not only are you honoring your brother's wish, but also your nephew's wish or request to not give money. Because ultimately, like you said, the money is for Caden. And if Caden says no, then don't do it. You are completely not the a-hole in this situation. I just wanted to just leave it out there. But let's see what some of the commenters have to say. First commenter says, not the a-hole. This is what your brother anticipated and it came to pass. And Caden himself doesn't consent to it. So not the a-hole at all. Very true. Because James did say that it's not that he didn't trust Elle or how much of it, but the fact that he didn't know whoever comes in their lives, if whether or not they would take advantage of it. So James, your brother was a very smart man. Another commenter says, it sounds like Caden knows something about that man that OP doesn't. Ooh, that might be true. Because Caden, although that is his step sibling, if they had a really good relationship, I think that Caden would be willing to give in some money. So maybe there is more to that story. Interesting. Oh, another follow-up commenter says, or the mom. I can see her making resentful comments to the kid about having all that money sitting there and not doing anything when she could use it for X, Y, and Z. Ooh, that is very true. Maybe Elle is hoping for that money. Another commenter says, OP was asked to look after the money so he could be the bad guy, and Caden wasn't put under any pressure. James knew the woman he married well. OP served exactly the purpose James intended. Caden's future is safe in OP's hand. Very true. Another commenter says, 100%. What your brother was afraid of would happened, and this is why you are in charge of the money and not her. While you can sympathize with what they are going through, that doesn't make it your responsibility or your nephew's. And even Caden, who was damn near an adult himself, said no, not the a-hole. I completely agree with all these commenters. Another commenter says, Caden was lucky that his dad had time to prepare and had someone he could trust to carry out his wishes and protect his interests. OP, you're not the a-hole. Continue to wear that armor of justice and defend your brother's wishes and nephew's interests. Very true. See? It looks like most of the commenters agree with me. What do you guys think? Do you think OP is the a-hole, or do you think he's doing the right thing by honoring his brother's wishes and his nephew's? Let me know in the comments section. And remember, if you like these types of stories, to continue to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys later.